In this presentation, I will talk about the short story named Impostor, written by Philip K. Dick. Impostor by Philip K. Dick mainly focuses on war paranoia and the issue of humanness. It questions how technology interferes with human values like emotions, memories, fears, and worries. As we see from the story, technology is so improved that all information that belongs to human beings can be taken from robots. Whether it is physical or mental, all data are reflected by the instruments that are based on technological robots. In the story, Spence Oldham is a highly ranking official in the Protect Bubble project. He has been working on this defense project for 10 years. The protagonist is introduced as diligent and moral official seeking break from work. Although the project is not yet complete, he feels confident about the security of Protect Bubble. However, his status is threatened when Peters from the government security officer accuses him of being an outspacer spy. Oldham struggles to prove that he is a human and not a robot, which intercepted him. He is disillusioned to see his colleague, and his best friend Nelson takes side with Peters. He remains alone in his efforts to prove that he hasn't replaced by the so-called robot. Finally, he managed to escape and runs to the woods to find the spaceship and the robot. He finds a dead body with a metal piece in it, and he is relieved to have proved himself. Peters and Nelson convinced they apologized. However, Nelson finds out that the metal piece in the U-bomb is not the U-bomb, but an outspacer knife which killed Oldham. The story is set on Earth in the beginning. From the first point of view, that's briefly Oldham's perspective, the Earth is like today's modern world. The architecture of houses are same as our houses in real world, and also the workplaces are becoming technological with the improvement on it. After the setting of the Earth, the character starts to describe the moon. Moon is a place that humans cannot live. The reason beyond this is the amount of oxygen that's not suitable for human life. Moon is mainly an area for outspacers. The government officials assume that the spies are coming from the moon to Earth, and it becomes a place for removing the robots like an executional area. At the end, story takes place on the Earth again, but in a very natural way, because our main character, goes to the place that named Suttonwood. Suttonwood is located near the living spaces. Our main character sees this place as an energy storage area, a way of relaxing with getting out of society. If we look at the usage of language, we can face with descriptive language. Descriptive language is maintained with complex but required phrases, but also with the detailed adjectives and adverbs. As if we look at the story, we can see that they would rip him up, open, pull off his arms and legs, break him apart. He thought frantically, his mind racing. Inside his jacket, his fingers twisted, his arms suddenly rigid, he relaxed, smiling a little. And also, there is a descriptive language for setting that is: sunlight filtered down through the broken trees, onto the man crouching at the edge of the clearing. Oldham glanced up from the time, listening. They were not far away off, only a few minutes away. He smiled. In the sunlight, it glittered a little gleaming darkly. As I handle the concept of language, there is a significant irony that Oldhim is a major threat against humankind while he is working to protect humans. In this story, Philip K. Dick notion being a human and even Oldhim is not aware of he is a robot. Throughout the story, he is struggling to prove that he is human. The story reveals the truth that technology will eventually conquer humanity. Philip K. Dick tries to show how far technology can advance. Here, the reader becomes aware that artificial intelligence is a danger that awaiting new humankind. The robot has become Oldhim because he looks like him, but more importantly, he was given an artificial memory system. The robot becomes so human that also he himself doesn't know that he is not a human. This is quite scary because it shows to what extent technology can threaten its creators. As Peters says in this extract, the robot is exactly the human Oldhim, except the U-bomb. U-bomb is the only difference. Oldhim is the same person who works in a dedicated way for the Protect Bubble project, who is worried about the situation, who tries to inform and warn his wife Mary, who tries to remind Nelson about their long friendship. There is no physical and mental way that he can show a difference. There is no physical and mental way that he can show difference. That's why Oldhim can find a way to prove himself, but he awakens and finds a way about 1 minute later. He realizes that Nelson's willingness is current because they have an important friendship background over 20 years. They went to same college. They stay in the same room. And now they are work partners. At first, Nelson stays distant because of his paranoia and fear. He chooses to stay by Peter's side, who represents the government. And this shows the conformist side of the humans. But when he changes attitude, Oldhim reaches his goal. This short story is written symbolized by the author, and with this extract, it becomes clear that war paranoia and the threat of technology represents the Cold War time. There is a saying from Oldhim includes the sword of Damocles, which means there can be no happiness for one who is under constant apprehensions. One of its more famous uses comes in 1961 during the Cold War time, when President John F. Kennedy gave a speech before the United Nations, in which he said that every man, woman, and child lives under a nuclear sword of Damocles, hanging by the slenderest of threads, capable of being cut at any moment by accident or miscalculation or by madness. Also, the robot has a human mind and body. It carries humane values, however, it has power to destroy human beings. The robot in the story symbolizes the destructive force of technological weapons that takes place in Cold War time.